Running a profitable restaurant is difficult enough. You should not have to be an insurance expert. Today, we're going to break down in real terms the restaurant insurance basics that you need to know. Hi, my name is Ryan Hanley. I'm the founder of Rogue Risk, where we do insurance differently, specifically by giving you knowledge and information so you can make the right insurance decision. Now, when it comes to restaurants, and throw food services into this idea of restaurant insurance, so that would include cafes, coffee shops that serve food. If you have people coming into your business to purchase food, drinks, they're eating in the restaurant, there are many different forms that a food service business can take. There are some core basic ideas that relate to insurance that are important for you to understand. Things that you don't just want to kind of set and forget. You want to work with someone who's going to help you on an annual basis, keep track of your various insurance coverages, keep track of the exposures that you have as your business change and adapts, specifically in a post-COVID world. And you're going to want to make sure that these insurances are in place so that you can do what you do best, right? Serve people a tremendous food experience and run that business and focus on it without having to worry about if you have a bad day, an accident, something happens, that you're gonna lose all your hard work. And that's really what we do here at Rogue. So the very first thing is you need to have a business owner's policy. Now, there are many companies that write restaurants. Unfortunately, post-COVID, there are far fewer, but there are still quite a few. Finding the right carrier is step number one. And when I say find the right carrier, I don't just mean the cheapest carrier. And I know what you're saying, Ryan, you don't understand. Restaurants run on tight margins and we have to, every dollar counts. I completely understand that. I completely understand it because one, I worked in the food service business for a long time. Two, I have many food service, restaurant, bars, taverns. I have all kinds of food service clients that I talk to almost every single day. And I've walked through all the craziness that has come about because of COVID. I understand, but a few dollars in savings can cost you your entire business down the road if your program isn't set up properly. So the very first thing you want to do, and oftentimes you can find a great price, so I don't want to make it sound like you have to pay more. You don't. You just want to make sure that you have the right company to match your type of business, where it's located, and what you're actually doing. And if you fudge with that, you can get yourself into trouble. So matching what you do with the right company is the first step. That's going to get you general liability. It's going to cover your property. It's going to cover any loss of income, any spoilage. If you do lose power during a snowstorm or a windstorm or something like that, you're going to make sure that your business kind of is still operational. And I know COVID has created a lot of issues around business income, and those are being worked through. Unfortunately, the way business income was originally written, it didn't cover this type of pandemic, government shutdown related loss to a pandemic. It just wasn't something that was even considered. So we'll have to work through how those claims ultimately get worked out. But in the meantime, standard slips, trips, and falls, fires, water damage, sprinkler system goes off because you have a fire, damages things. All these types of losses are going to be covered under your business owner's policy. The very next policy that you want to think about is workers' compensation. And if you are located in New York, you're also going to need short-term disability. Workers' comp is going to cover your business and ultimately your employees as well for their injuries. So someone slips coming out of a kitchen, breaks a hip, breaks their leg, tears a ligament, they're out of work. Workers' compensation is what's going to provide them with reimbursement for those injuries, for those lost wages, and ultimately protect your business from having to pay out for that injury. Very, very important that you have workers' compensation. And like I said, in New York State, if you're in any of the surrounding northeastern states or the rest of the country, for the most part, you don't need to have short-term disability. That is a specific to New York State policy that you need to have if you have employees. The next thing that you need to look at if you're serving alcohol is liquor liability. There are standalone liquor liability policies. There are liquor liability coverages that can be included in your business owner's policy. If you're serving alcohol, understand that if you do not have liquor liability, all, and that's not an absolute, but 99+% of losses that occur in alcohol-related accidents are not going to be covered on your policy, and you're going to have to come out of pocket for that. This is one of the largest mistakes that I see restaurants making. The next policy that you're going to want to consider is cyber liability. Unfortunately, restaurants have become a major target for cyber attacks because they handle so much money. They're taking credit cards, they're taking cash payments, and oftentimes their websites, their systems are not highly protected. They're not paying for managed technology services, and cyber criminals are using their ability to scale out to these organizations, these small businesses, and just picking off things using ransomware, so just locking down your entire point of sale system until you pay them $25,000, $50,000. It's terrible. Cyber liability is absolutely something you want to consider. Again, there are options to both include it in your business owner's policy and to have it as standalone. Depends on the type of operation you're doing, size of your operation, whether you're doing any kind of online sales. There's different scenarios there. The last thing that I want you to think about is your commercial auto if you are doing any kind of delivery or using delivery-related services in a post-COVID world. So there are all different types of, there's Uber Eats, there's Melio, there's lots of these services. You're going to want to make sure that you have hired and non-owned auto insurance on your business owners. And if you do use any vehicles, if you do have any company vehicles and you are doing any type of delivery, you want to make sure that you have a business commercial auto policy that is properly set up. Lastly, and I know this said lastly a couple times now, but lastly, a commercial umbrella policy, which is going to provide an additional layer of liability coverage in case something really awful happens. Unfortunately, things like people choking, if there was ever a fire in a kitchen, there are many, many scenarios in which you could find yourself needing more than what your baseline insurance program offers. And in these cases, a commercial umbrella for the cost, which is not going to be an incredible amount of money, is going to provide you with an additional layer. Now, again, we all have different sizes of budgets and we have to make business decisions. You're the leader, you're the business owner, you're the one that has to make these decisions, but it's my role here at Rogue and my philosophy as a business owner to over-educate you and present you with the options so that you can make educated decisions as best as possible. So any questions you have about restaurant insurance, cafes, whatever type of food services business you may have, whether it's more highly geared towards alcohol, if you're more of a bar or a tavern, or just mostly food or only food, doesn't matter. Give us a call here at Rogue Risk. You can ask for me specifically. My name is Ryan. I'm the founder. 518-960-6600. Happy to work with you. Happy to answer your questions. You can always visit us online at roguerisk.com. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you.